What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and today we're looking at a pair of pants. Got them right here in a nice blue, and they're called the Coalatree Trailhead Adventure Pants. Now, I'm not much of an outdoor adventurer, so to speak, but I do like my pants to be comfy, durable, and sort of overall high quality, which is all that these pants promise to be. They're designed with sort of climbing, hiking, festival, anything sort of outdoor in mind, but also at the same time stay comfortable and durable. So all the qualities I'm looking for in a pair of pants, so to speak. It's a Kickstarter project that I backed a few months ago, and the pants have just arrived and I've been trying them out for the past week. So I thought I'd give you sort of a review on what they actually offer and if that is realistic in real life as well. Now no worries, there won't be any full frontal male nudity here, but I am going to try them on so you can have an idea on how they fit and how they look on a person. And I'm going to show you some of the features and details that actually make these pants quite cool and definitely worth your consideration. Alright, so here we are up close with the Coalatree Trailhead Adventure Pant. I thought we would start with a little close-up so I can show you some of the features in more detail before I actually put them on. Starting actually with packability. You can see that the pants are packed into themselves, which is actually one of the features that they boast about. You pull the pants inside out and you can actually stuff the whole pants into one of the front pockets that are obviously nice and big, as you can see. Which is not only practical, but also obviously you can do the packing this way, making it ideal for anything like a festival to hardcore backpacking. In terms of packing though, this is how it came. It just had this little cardboard thing attached to it, and that was it. No packaging or anything going on. Now, this was a Kickstarter project, so I'm not sure if this is final packaging or just for backers or anything, but it is a bit not so much packaging going on at all, which is slightly disappointing on the one hand, but on the other hand it's a pair of pants, so the first thing you're going to do is rip this off and wear them anyway, but still, it's all about the experience, I'd say. Unpacking it, just as easy, you just pull everything back out. Not sure how long this is going to last. They say it's a very durable pair of pants, but I can imagine if you do this a bit too vigorously that they'll rip out of the pants. I will actually put them back the way they are, or supposed to be rather. So like I said, in terms of packaging, all you get is this little leaflet, but it has a list of all the functionality of these pants, so let's go over them one by one. On the back you can see it's for any occasion, from camping to beaches to your cabin to your backyard, so that is quite nice. Opening it up, you can actually see all the features. So the packable one we just looked at, high water resistance is the second one, with a revolutionary fabric. So it'll definitely keep you dry in harsh conditions, but it's still breathable. So we're going to have to put that to the test. The ergonomic crotch section is actually quite important. It's hard to see on camera maybe, but you can see that they've added a little extra flap here in the crotch area. Normally this would connect right here and this would all be just one seam, making it quite uncomfortable. And since these pants are supposed to be used in an active environment, so anything from climbing to dancing to your favorite hardstyle music on your festival, you want sort of extra durability and extra movability, and this is might look like a small thing, but it actually makes all the difference in terms of how movable you are in these pants. Personally, for me, these pants are a little on the tight side, especially around the hips and the crotch area, because I have big thighs and a big butt. But this actually makes, together with this sort of stretchiness of the fabric, makes it still very comfortable for me to wear, and I can still actually squat down to pick something up from the floor if I need to without ripping out of my pants. Speaking of ripping, feature number 5, rip resistant. The 4-way stretch and nylon ripstop combined with fully reinforced seams mean the Trailhead fabric pants is ready for just about anything. So it's not going to tear on you unless you sort of cut it on something really sharp. Now, we got a little adjustability here in the top. You can see the nice Tactical Pant logo here on the inside. This is size XL, by the way. You got some rip cords here that are a little flexible by themselves, and the same thing goes for the cords here on the bottom, so you can actually make it as tight or as loose around your ankles as you would like. Personally, I hardly use these, so I'm probably going to take them out, but it's still nice when you're wearing certain kind of boots or climbing gear, for example, that you can actually, you know, pull them up a little bit and make sure that it doesn't fall down and get in the way. Not much to see, you know, in terms of other features. We've got a little
logo tag here on the side. Very deep pockets, as you can see. I can pretty much go all the way to halfway up my forearm, and my fingers here are now touching the bottom of the pocket, so that's really nice. Means your stuff won't fall out accidentally. Here on the back, 2 pockets, one here with Velcro, one here without Velcro. I'm not really sure why one has and one hasn't Velcro. Maybe if you want quick access to something, I don't know. But you know, that is what it is. Personally, not the choice that I would have gone for. Maybe a push button would have been nicer, but that obviously is a hard item in the middle of your pants, so that's probably the reason why. And you can see, almost forgot about that, some belt loops here, so you can actually make it a little tighter if necessary. Alright, now for the slightly awkward part of the video. This is how the pants look on me. There's no way around it really, but I'm gonna have to film the waist down, so you know, you get an idea of how the pants look on a person. The first problem you can probably see right away is that they're quite tight. Now this is the biggest version that they make, the XL version, and you can see that there is not much room to spare here. You can actually see the line of my boxer shorts through the pants. Which, you know, is not much of an issue in itself, because the pants are quite stretchy. You can see I can still move pretty happily. But, you know, if tightness is not your kind of thing, then these pants are probably not for you if you have big legs like me. You can see around the back, it's the same story. You know, not much room to spare here in terms of fabric. I actually have to pull them up slightly for the comfortable fit. But you can see I can still move around quite easily because the pants are so stretchy, and actually because of the extra bit here in the crotch that I showed earlier, there is plenty of room to move with the pants. And I suppose it does serve its purpose as well, because these are called the adventure pants for a reason. So, you know, they're used for anything from rock climbing to hiking and so on. And when you do those kind of activities, you don't really want super baggy, floppy pants. So therefore, you know, a bit more tightness is definitely welcome. But you know, if you're going to have items here in the back pockets, it is going to look quite bulky. And as you can see, it's certainly not the last word in fashion, because over here there is some excess material, because I actually have to pull the pants up slightly for a more comfortable fit. You can make the fit, you know, to your liking with the straps here. Not the most elegant solution, I suppose, but there's belt loops here as well if you want to wear a belt. They're not the biggest belt loops, so you know, you're not going to fit the full-size tactical belt around this, I think. But overall, you should be okay with a small belt if necessary. But again, if you have big legs like me, the pants will fit and won't fall down, and you won't, you know, need this string at all. Overall, though, they're quite comfy. You know, as you can see, I can move around, even though it looks slightly awkward here on video. But this is a bit of an idea on how the pants, you know, look on me in this case. To give you a bit of context, by the way, I'm about 6'1" and 225 pounds, so I'm definitely not a small guy. But I think these pants could definitely use one extra size for people, at least with bigger legs like me. Overall comfortableness, though, is very nice. The fabric is thin and light, so that makes the pants, you know, feel airy and light, I suppose. And because the stretchy fabric and sort of the overall extra movability pockets, like here in the crotch, make the pants, you know, really comfortable for walking or for activities, you know, a bit more active like rock climbing and so on. Alright, so back up here where you can see my face, time for some kind of conclusion about the Trailhead Adventure Pants. I like them for what they intend to be. They're active lifestyle pants, if you want, used for anything from rock climbing, camping, hiking and so on, like I said. And they serve their purpose really well. I think it's a well thought through pair of pants with features that you really want in those kind of situations. Like the water resistance, like the stretchiness of the fabric, the lightness of the pants overall, and things like that extra piece of fabric in the crotch area just make them very comfortable to wear, especially when you're doing active things like rock climbing or hiking. So in terms of, you know, form and function, I think it's a job well done, and definitely a pair of pants that you can use in those kind of situations. Downsides, not really. You know, it's not a cheap pair of pants, I suppose, but if you want a quality piece of gear in those situations, I suppose it's not that bad either. You could argue that it could use more pockets, more, you know, features in terms of carrying things on it, maybe like a gun belt or so on. But I don't think these pants are meant for those kind of situations. If you want those kind of features, I think you're more looking at sort of hunting pants, maybe some kind of army style situation that offer you a lot more variety of what you can do with the pants. But then again, take away the functionality that these pants are aimed for. You're not going to go rock climbing in pants with heavy pockets and heavy fabric and so on. So it's a very focused pair of pants, certainly not for everybody, but I think you can use this also in and around the house just for comfy pants,
walking around. You don't necessarily have to go out hiking in it. And you know, overall it's a very comfortable pair of pants to wear, you know, not only outside but also just inside, lounging around in it. So job well done. Overall, nice pair of pants if you're looking for something for your active lifestyle. Definitely something to look at. But if you need you know, lots of features, lots of storage and so on, probably not the pants for you. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the Trailhead Adventure Pants. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, that helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!